about what we're seeing in the community, do a temperature check, see if there's anything we want to address as stewards together. And I will pass to Livia to start.
I feel like I'm getting almost repetitive every week, but it's just that feels like, yeah, that we have been establishing a good flow of things. I think this focus on proposals will be very beneficial, and I think the MVV had a really great engagement in the runoff. Like a lot of people messaged me saying like, oh, I can't vote, or oh, I don't know if I have my CStack yet, or like, oh, how do I open this? Like asking little questions that I assume the people that participated and didn't ask questions were even higher. And yeah, I think it was really cool. And I'll pass to Zapti.
Thanks, Libby. Yeah, last week was super fun, like the parents party. I think we could, I mean, yeah, it's up to Griff, I guess, but I think we could have more of them. I feel like they are so educative, and yeah, it just gives more knowledge to the community. I'll pass it to Manu.
Hey guys, what am I supposed to say here? Just an introduction, things about last week.
Temperature check on the community.
I see a lot of new members on the channel. They're just not joining the different events that we have, or the sync calls. That's a phenomenon that I don't know. It's interesting to see where that leads. And other than that, I don't know. I'll pass it to Juanca.
Thanks, Manu. Well, I think that things are going great. I love the word adolescencia, because it's like the word when we are growing up, when like in Spanish, and it means that we are hurting. It's like adolescence. We are hurting on something. Like growing hurts when we are growing. Like our bones hurt and we feel like different. And I think that right now we are talking about like some changes, like how like the working groups are going to sustain after the hatch, and we are going through these changes. And yeah, like changes sometimes like are difficult, and we are choosing parameters and we are choosing our MVVs. So I think it's great that we're having changes and that we're growing, and it's also normal that our bones hurt in that process, and that we have to like rethink some of the ideas that they were safe before, but now they need also to be reframed. So yeah, I think that that's like the hatch. We are breaking that first like barrier, and we are going to face the outer world. So yeah, that's how I feel this week. And I will pass to Nate.
Yeah, I think everything's going well. I think that we have a lot of new faces that have showed up, and they're in the process of learning everything and how everything works, and I think that's a really good thing. I do think we could do better to take time out of our schedules to make sure that they're kind of ushered in even more, and make sure that everybody's educated to the point where they're comfortable with their roles, and they're understand what they're doing. And that's kind of part of the natural process of things that we have to get into a habit of doing as new faces continue to show up and start participating, that we make sure that we kind of guide them through this journey of how to participate responsibly and give them confidence in what they're doing. But other than that, I think everything is going really well. I just like to reinforce the education aspect and the peer-to-peer part of it. So I will pass to Zepti.
Already went. I'll pass it to Edu.
Thank you, Septimus. I don't know. I had when Tam mentioned the 92 people and after Hajj, for me it was like 2 months ago. I would never have thought that was going to be accomplished because of my lack of knowledge, the magnitude of the task, and so on. So for me, there is a huge feeling of gratitude towards everyone that made that possible. And it's I feel it's not a working group effort, it's a community effort that made this possible. The contacts of everyone sort of giving their input and sending their contacts and so on. And that's something you rarely see. And that's something I feel like very happy and gratitude about it. And that sort of makes me take a step back and, as Griff mentioned, live the present and prepare for the future in a way, without losing this kind of touch base with the reality and seeing around us and see that everyone is fine, if everyone has their time for what the things they need. And I think that's something before the Hajj, it could be a nice session to just like touch bases with everyone, check your personal if you're fine, and just like have this before craziness comes maybe. I think it will be nice to, we are hardworking people, but we also are human beings behind it. And I think sometimes we need a little bit of attention too. And that will be all. Back to you, Tam.
I'll go next. And then Griff, I think you'll be the last one to wrap us up. Yeah, thanks for saying that, Eduardo. You know, like 3 weeks ago, I said these 3 weeks are going to be really hard for me because of like the homeschooling and then the school closed. And it's like, and I'm realizing like this week has just been really hard for me. And I was like, oh yeah, that's right. This is supposed to be like the hard week for me. So normal, like what's happening is exactly what's supposed to be happening. And so I'm definitely feeling like drained a little bit because, well, I'm working very hard at multiple different things, and it's like, okay, I need to consolidate my energy and focus it and not let it be diffused, because then it feels a little wasteful. So I definitely have been feeling like, yeah, for me personally, conserving my energy. And I think next week it's like, everyone's back in school. You know what I mean? I'll feel like high energy again. But this week, after like, this is the 3rd week, I'm like, I'm kind of dragging myself, you know, at the end of the day. So yeah, thanks for reminding me we have to take care of ourselves as well. And then from the community aspect, I've also seen a lot of people, you know, I've been working with Katie to do the onboarding, and one of the things we've been checking is like the bot logs on the Discord server, just to be like, hey, who's new? How do we reach out to them? And you know, the last time we met, we looked at just the last 10, and the last 10 people who joined our server look spammy. 7 of them didn't acknowledge the CC. So 7 of them can't even see the channel. And I know that's the problem we're working on. And our temporary fix is she's sending a personal message now to each one to like, hey, please come in, you know, click this checkbox. And so, you know, I think that people are joining, but also maybe people aren't getting into like coming into the TEC because they're still that, you know, that user journey that we're evolving through. And then Juan Carlos, I really liked what you said about adolescence. Like it's growing pains, you know, where the bones are stretching, we're getting longer and we're getting bigger. And it, yeah, I think that I think we have a lot of new energy in. And it's nice to see. I guess I want to say one other thing. So many of the working groups are really like they just found their stride. You know, the ones that existed are just continue their stride. Legal, transparency, soft gov, conflict management, comms is really like sealed together. Like they found their stride too. So I just feel like I honestly just think we're doing a really good job right now. So I guess that's it. And I will pass to Griff.
Yeah, I think we're doing a pretty good job. Lots of people, new faces in the calls, which is always really nice. Yeah, I mean, you guys kind of stole all my thunder. I don't have much to add, and it sounds like we have a lot to go through, so I'll just pass it to Chewy. Heat check on the community, Chewy.
Hi, Griff. Heat checking the community. It's like I've talked to I think Tam, and I also mentioned it to Livy, that just like what she brought up in the soft cup meeting yesterday, like about the full moon, and like just in general how most of us are going like through I mean not even to put it like tough times, but you know, it's just like a lot of stuff waits right now, and responsibilities and personal issues that some of us like might have. So I feel that we have been really good in finding support in this community. Like at least like for me, I've always felt better like after a working group, or after like having a one-on-one. Like it's like it doesn't even make me like bring up like things that are going on, but you know, it's good to have a community where you can just like come here and talk about something, you know, and how things are gonna get better. So I don't know what, like, how does this translate to like a temperature in the TEC, but I feel pretty good that even though like some of us are going through like changes or transitions in general, I feel really good and very happy and proud to be part of a community that is always like right output for anything that you might be like going through. It's it's really comforting. I'll pass it to Santi.
Thank you, Chuy. Well, if I have to define in one sentence, I just see the temperature going up, and it's like sooner or later this thermometer is going to explode, and that's what I'm waiting for. That's all I can say. I mean, it keeps the community keeps going, it keeps adding new contributors, and things keep getting done, and I just can feel that we are approaching that moment. So that's how I feel. I'll pass it to Craig.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, everybody said so much already. I feel all of it. And I guess I personally find a lot of support at all various times, being somebody who can engage, I guess, as much as I would always like to. So that's awesome. Yeah, I'll stop there, and I don't know who's left. Tam.
Okay. Yeah, you wrapped us up, Craig. Thank you. Cool. Next thing on our agenda is Nate, spotlight for tomorrow. I see you're lining something up. Excellent.
Yeah, so this is a lot more challenging than I thought it was going to be, even for just a 15-minute time window for people to come and present. But I had a verbal commitment from Paul, although I haven't heard much from him since. So I'm going to keep on him about that. But Paul is from molecule.to.
He presented last week, didn't he? Oh no, 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks
You
ago.
presented last week. Oh, we did?
Yeah. He presented on the 8th.
It wasn't VitaDAO?
Molecule is like the service provider.
Oh.
So they're the same. It'd be like Slockit in the DAO.
Apologies, I did not know that.
It's okay.
Okay. Well, yeah. So
he can still
Poor
do it.
guy, man. He's been working hard, and now you splash him on his face.
He can still do it. It's not like it's just needing to be said. Yeah, I
All
mean,
right. Well,
I'm sure that they have some other cool things. I mean, they're the first people to really deploy a bonding curve fundraise. They're the closest. They deployed the TE Commons with Catalyst. It was like the closest thing to the TE Commons that ever existed. It didn't work. They didn't reach their main goal. Say that basically. So all the money went back, but it was pretty cool.
okay. Well, I apologize for the confusion there. All right.
My feeling is that if he has something to present that's not VitaDAO, then we offer him the space. I heard you say 15 minutes, Nate. It's really more like 5 minutes at the end.
Okay.
Just to set his expectations so he doesn't plan a 15-minute presentation and end up having to hurry through it. Is that correct, right? We end up usually is really 5 minutes at the end.
Yeah, the goal is to make sure, at least my goal is to make sure that we end sometime between 50 and 55 and then give them the space. So I tell everyone 5 to 10 minutes, probably closer to 5.
All right. Sounds good. Noted.
Cool. Thanks for doing that, Nate. It's really great. It's really great. We're not scrambling today. We're really excited. And then I guess the next thing is the blog post, just to first, maybe we could talk about what's going into the next one. I'm suggesting hatch. It's going to be the second to last one before the hatch. But we could put in anything else. And then maybe we could also just do a quick update for this one too. So for the one that's going to happen in May 4th, 5th, we also have next week to fill this. So if anybody has something they want to add now, shout it out. Otherwise, we can build it next week. We have another week to build it. Okay, cool. And then maybe an update for this one, for the current blog post, Craig. I believe that you're waiting on the MVV results, so the final version of the mission, vision, values. Is that true? Is that right? And there's also, you're waiting on the update, a hatch update. I have a suggestion for the hatch update. It looks like Common Stack will be publishing a piece, What is a Hatch, on tomorrow evening. So I'm going to propose we hold off publishing this blog post until Friday morning, if everyone else agrees with that. And include the What is a Hatch in the TEC blog.
Are you sure that's going to go out?
Pretty sure. I have a very high feeling it's going to go out.
Cool, because Jess was also talking about distributing the narrative today.
Probably, yeah. She and I are texting each other now, though.
Okay,
and
cool.
I'll have more time after 10 p.m. tonight, and then tomorrow to do it. I mean, it's really just the final mile. There's very few things left to do before.
Well, it just makes sure that she doesn't. Sometimes we only like to push one blog post a day. So, I'll message her right now. I'm just.
Okay, and then I guess the alternative is just to not wait for that, and we can send it as soon as we decide what to include for the MVV results. The question about the MVV results, so we could either publish what we have now, or we can do the light editing that we agreed to in the SoftGov and then publish it in the blog post. I guess it depends on how long that soft editing process will take. I think if it's something that will be ready by tomorrow, we can wait for it. But if it's something that will be ready by next week, then we should just publish the results without the editing. And Griff, I look to you and Livia for a decision on that.
I'm so sorry. I was typing something else. Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, for the MVV. So last night in SoftGov, we agreed that there would be a light editing to it before it's our final MVV. And the question is, is that something that can happen in 24 hours, or is that something that happens more in a few days?
I thought few days. Livia, did you have different thoughts here?
Yeah, if it depends on if you want to do like a more open session, let's say, or if we just want to do one round of editing and then passing around to see if people have something to say. I think that could be quicker. So maybe if you had time, Griff, to take a quick look at it today.
No time. No, I'm like, there's no time for me today, unfortunately. But there is tomorrow afternoon.
So the question is, do we hold off the blog post until no? So we publish with the results as they exist. Okay.
I mean, I think we can just link to the GitHub and like, we don't have to say that it's like, it's final, here it is published, you know, in the blog even. We can just link, hey, MVV 16, and talk about how the meta level would be more interesting, honestly. Like, this is the first time that a DAO ever voted on their mission, vision, values before launch, and these sorts of things. No, maybe not. Maybe that's not. I'm not seeing happy faces.
Isn't that what we did on the last one, though? I think it would be cool to have the results, like this is the mission, vision, and values of the team. It's more flashy.
Well, then.
But
okay.
also, Chewy suggested.
Go ahead.
Chewy suggested to write a blog post only about that with the results. So we could also do that, and then just link the one in this post.
That sounds good. I mean, we just say what is happening with MVV. MVV, you know, we could just, you know, like give an update. Hey, this is it. And just say, oh yeah, final one is going to go through just a little bit more polishing. And that's it, you know?
Be honest, easy.
Yeah, that's always cool.
Craig, is that sufficient for like, do you have enough information for this, or do you have questions around what to do with the MVV? Is it clear to you is my question.
Clear as mud. No, no, I think the direction is, yeah, what Griff just said is, yeah, I can splash just some generic stuff up there and say the final version is coming, and I can publish it today if that's what we want to do. I need to do some revisions and stuff, but I can work on that after this.
Cool. Okay, cool. So we're prioritizing publishing the post. And I do agree with that too, by the way. And we'll take out this hatch update part because we're not going to put a hatch update in. And the MVV results will sort of just be the state of where we are now.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Awesome. Just
one thing before jumping to the next point, like I know on the Telegram was a discussion about like deleting the TC common for the Medium post, and I don't know if we could talk about like 20 seconds about it, like what's are the benefits, what are the cons, and should we do it, should we not, like yeah, that.
Yeah,
so
that'd be great. Oh, sorry, Nate, go ahead. I was just going to say I synced up with Nate too, and I understand better what he actually was saying, but go, Nate.
Yeah, so I didn't want to get rid of the TEC Commons account or anything like that. I still want them to be writers. But it's put under the editor list. Currently, like the draft that you have on the TEC Commons account, as an editor, I can't edit it from the token engineering medium. But if you were put on as a writer rather than an editor, it would help, as well as it assists with the SEO problems that we're having.
Okay, cool. So we're not deleting it. We're just changing its status.
Yeah, just changing its role, moving it from editor and moving it to a writer.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's the generic account. So yeah, the editors should be known editors. Sorry, Craig. Craig?
Yeah, that works.
Oh, perfect. Cool. Cool. Thanks for raising that, Zeptimus, and thanks for clearing it up, Nate. Okay, and then if there's nothing else on the blog post, we'll move to the deck template for tomorrow. So This is what we're using on the community call tomorrow. So just a reminder to edit it.
Hey, Tam, I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure that with that process of changing roles, only the owner can do it, and I'm not sure who the actual owner of the TEC Medium account is.
Have you checked with Jess?
I have not, but I will inquire with her.
It's the Gmail, right? I would say Craig can do it, even I, but Craig make more sense to taking like the lead on it.
Yeah, so Nate, is it just a permissions change somewhere in the dashboard?
Yeah, it should be, but you have to have the title of owner. So whoever started the account, whatever account that is, they're the ones who can change editor and writer.
Yeah,
Maybe
I mean,
that was
Jess,
me.
was it you? It was the TE Commons Gmail, right? Which has since been changed a little bit.
Yeah, that's something me and Zep are working on in the background as well, trying to just identify access rights and make sure we know who has access to each thing. So if you could let us know once you do find out, it'd be grateful.
Yeah, I'll look into it, Nate, and if I need to sync up with you, I'll ping you directly.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Cool. Okay, next is Hatch. Just a quick update, 92 hatchers and 390,000 in soft commits. The second thing is, Eduardo had an idea today that it would be interesting for any of the stewards who want to come to these Hatcher outreach sessions, because you really see you get a feel for what the Hatchers, the kind of questions they have and the kind of comments they have. So I would just like to extend the invitation to anyone who wants to join one to let me know, and I'll find one in your calendar that makes sense. And then Countdown to Hatch, we have some dates we can work to. I would say this is still pretty internal. We're not really sharing it yet, but we have important dates to keep in our mind. We are here. We are going to start the params submissions. Oh, maybe we're a little further along, but we're going to start the params, or we are in the process of the params set submissions and the first round of voting on the 11th, which is a Tuesday. The first round of voting will end, and then there'll be the params runoff. So the top 3 parameters, we will get together and try to come up with 3 final sets, and that will be the final vote. And then there'll be, a last technical check for these hatch parameters, just to make sure it goes pretty smoothly. And then the hatch target date is the very end of May. This period is flexible, so it can be shorter, and we might pull the hatch up earlier, or it can be longer, and we might extend the hatch further. But in terms of like our readiness, these are the dates that we're working towards. What else? Okay. I don't think there's any questions about the hatch, but I just want to give a moment. And if nobody shouts, then we'll move on to our working group checks. Cool. Okay, the retrospective is tomorrow. Really, our community call is tomorrow as well. Sprint planning on Friday. So start tagging your issues that you want to bring into the next sprint with next sprint. And now let's go around and do our check-ins with the working groups. So your economy, your choice. And why don't we start with legal? It's always pretty quick.
We're on track, just as any week.
Yeah.
We hopefully we should be able to almost get done with the terms, the proposal terms this next week. Maybe tomorrow or this next spring for sure. Either tomorrow or Friday or next Friday. But I'm pretty confident we will end up. And then we may focus on smaller things. I may focus more on source credit, as we are launching with Levi and Mateo. But of course, legal. There's always going to be issues on legal that we can dive into. But just the issues there are remaining there. We're going to close them probably next spring.
Cool. Excellent. And maybe Chewy, would you like to give an update on comms? And Nate, you're here too. You, I think, have some updates in comms as well.
Yes, we are working currently in the SEO, issues. We really need to get that for the next sprint. We're also working on content, as we reviewed it in yesterday's working group. And I'm also I talked to some of you about it, but on the side, like I'm working on a Miro board that is just gonna like put everything together. So like starting next week, I mean for this sprint planning, we should have like a much clearer guide to just handle content in general. Like if it's a meme that generated from a meme party, there's gonna be a workflow for that. And if it's a Medium article that you put a month into, like there's also gonna be like a specific way to handle that content. So like for this next sprint, I think it like in a general way, it should be just like clearer what to do with content. Like whatever content comes up, I think there's gonna be more awareness of the right process to handle it. But yeah, I think like from projects and issues that are in progress. I would say that I think T. Wells' presentation as well as Manu's video are gonna be like a big part of this content. What else? I don't think. I still have to upload this like crypto news part, but it's more of supporting material. Nate, do you want to add something about how we're doing with the SEO? And just as a reminder for everyone, remember to check out our keywords, since each one is going to have like a different input based on their working group. But yeah, I'll pass it to you, Nate, if you have something to add.
Yeah. So the SEO thing is we're going to be continually hacking on. Fridays we'll be hacking at 10 a.m. PST. So if you're interested in joining and helping that, we have a keyword bank that we're going to consistently build on and do research for each keyword. And then we're going to incorporate that into some style guides and making sure that everybody understands how we use it and what it's going to be used for. Thing to understand about SEO is it does take a while to see results. And so we're looking at like a 4 to 6 month time scale for these changes to occur. And so it's just something that we have to be patient with and something that we have to keep hacking at over time and making sure that we just hammer down our strategy for the SEO. I do think it will resolve itself in the future. And so we'll have a very, very, very good SEO. But it requires people to put time in and to really focus on it. In terms of the content distribution process, I think it's going really well. We're continually refining it and making sure that the roles have everything that they have to be successful. If you are a leader of a working group, and I really encourage you to look at the ideas and request pipeline and see if there's any content in there that you find fascinating or interesting or think would be beneficial for your working group or the TEC in general, and say, hey, let's get the ball rolling on this and really put it into the pipeline and get people excited about it. I think right now is when we're going to need more content distribution and content production in general. I think it's very important. And so, yeah, just keep working with us as we go through these processes.
Cool, thanks. Those updates. Livia, would you like to give an update from SoftGov?
Yes. So, yeah, MVV final steps. writing a quick forum post and also collaborating with Chewy to distribute the results. And then this reward system, I think we had a lot of, we covered a lot in one of the SoftGov calls. And yesterday we had a really good idea during the SourceCred meeting that SourceCred allows bounties to happen. So this could be like a perfect way for funding working groups, because SourceCred could request a certain amount from the DAO and distribute to many people that subscribe to that bounty. So it could be a way to distribute something for a large amount of people at once. And it felt like a good solution that we could like add to the ones we already have. So it feels like discussions went forward in this sense. And the Git book, I was also talking to Katie today for her to help with like editing and stuff, that she's really good at it. And then the glossary hack session, I'm trying to book it for tomorrow, trying to see with all the people that did say they want to participate, what is the best time. And yeah, I think that's about it for me. Oh, there's that mapping. Oh, you're muted, Tim.
Oopsie.
So there was just one last, mapping what decisions hatchers will have to take. I feel like I need some help on that one. So, but I'll talk to you, maybe you and Griff later.
By the way, Livia, I was looking at my schedule. I could do 7:45 a.m. Tomorrow for MVV polishing. I don't know, and that would be before our retrospective or before our review call. I don't know if that time works for you or who else should be involved.
Yeah, that works. Perfect. And we can just leave it open, kind of like the other one was.
Okay, I'll put it as a open calendar invite for anyone to come on the TE calendar.
Nice.
Cool. Yay. Wait, okay, and then we'll pass it around after, so it won't be, okay. So I was just thinking, wait, do we stop the blog post? But no, we keep going with the blog post, and we'll include it as a separate piece. Hey, Zeptimus, transparency.
Okay.
You always got lots of stuff going on.
Yeah, we have the Commons audit still in progress. And then we also were working, the bot is not blocked anymore. I was talking with Riff, and we are going to go with the only audio bot. And it was so close to make it live today, but we find some issues like with the bot, and then we will try it. But it's very close. And with that being said, what I really would like for the videos, especially when we have the bot going on, like if all the stewards can add the description for their working group, because otherwise, like, since probably this is not going to be the time codes anymore, so it would be very interesting to have the introduction and then the agenda, maybe the manifesto and some links to have like some and even the CEO words for the videos. That would be super helpful. And yeah, that's all what's going on.
So don't we have those are two issues, right? One was the working group phrases for the YouTube, and the other was and I know those are two things that I know I personally haven't done. I don't know if I'm the only steward who didn't do it, but the other one was the links for the bot to submit to share the graphic on the Discord channel 1 hour before the meeting. Those are those two pieces of information you want for this bot as well?
Well, regarding for the announcement of the other bot, that doesn't affect this other task. for this task, what affects is like having the description of the working group, just to have to add it on the videos when we add them. And what we discuss on transparency is we will add the designs that Marco add. So since there will not be video, at least we will have these designs that Marco created for every working group.
Cool. Okay. Okay, cool. Thanks. I think that is actually on the content and distribution list, right? Here are this YouTube descriptions for each video. Okay. I'll try to bump that up on my list of priorities.
Thanks, Tam.
What else do we have? Eduardo, would you like to give an update with the projects, and maybe I'll give an update on the Hatcher as well?
Yes, first. And that watching your screen just remind me I have to update this and So that's one of the changes. We were going to move the proposals from there to DC Create to have a unified space for all the content. Also, to have all the information, the central point of source of information. Then we just had a call half an hour ago about the change of approach for proposals and focusing on giving some more thoughts to the proposals that have been already submitted, and then to also see a step back and see a direction of how we're going to tackle the process of onboarding proposals. I finished bad timing or good timing, I don't know. I finished a deck for proposals to sort of be the same, that similar to what Tam did for Hatchers, similar for proposals. And it's basically main key points, categories that we are seeking from proposals, and how to do it, where to do it, just a small slides that sort of serve the purpose of informing the community. One of the consensus that came from the call also regarding proposals is basically that we are gonna sort of not bind the outreach to submit. So we can outreach proposals, but not necessarily they are not binding to submit right now. It's being community building. Tam, back to you.
Thanks. And for the Hatch outreach, we're gonna just slow our roll a little bit. You know, we've done over 90 Hatcher one-on-one sessions, and we have a just very strategic list of the people that we think really need to be in the TEC, and we'll continue to do one-on-one Hatch outreach sessions with them, maybe make it bigger groups as well, and to focus a lot of this energy on having mass consumables. So things that are easier to digest and easier to share, instead of having one person, spend an hour to go through the information that we have in the deck. There is an update on this infographic. I think that was on the comms board, but I might switch it to the Hatch outreach board as well, or at least add that tag. And it is it's getting some new life, but it has a past of not sort of starting and stopping. Over the weekend, I spoke with a creative director I worked with for many years, and we got to talking about this, and if it's something that he might be able to take a crack at. He sent something like a really rough draft. I think it's going in a good direction, so I think we could keep momentum with, his name is Joe, and see how that goes. Mount Manu, I know on the other call you said that you have the designer that might be able to pick up work again now that he's returned. I'd love if I could just keep that as an option. And
it is an option, yes.
Okay, cool. But I think I'm going to see where this goes with Joe, and then if it doesn't work out, I'll definitely be saying, hey, maybe we can get some help from you, who generously offered to help us with that. Cool. So, you know, it's like, I want it now, but I know realistically it's going to take a number of days for us to get there. So I'm really hoping that next sprint is the sprint that we finally have it. And then that's something that will be easier to share. And I think that'll speak for Hatcher outreach in some regards as well. Okay. Any other updates? No, that's it. That's it. Oh yeah, of course, the invitation. So if anyone wants to join in these sessions, I think they're really fun, and it's really nice to get to know the people in our like our potential hatchers. Shall we move to Griff? Would you want to do the common swarm update and params?
Absolutely. Yeah, you could probably do both, or I don't know how you want to play it. I'll just read what's on your screen. Yeah, we're working to close all the hatch issues. We are modeling the target. We're making the target goal be more prominent on the screen. So that'll be really cool, where it's like the target goal that people choose in the hatch parameters is like the target goal on the hatch screen, and it's like, you know, percent to target goal, and then we have the min goal and the max goal as like smaller percentages in the corners. So that design is settled, and I think that was the last piece of like, oh, what is going to be here? And we're going to do a demo tomorrow on another hatch demo, because the last one didn't work, and we have to have one that works, you know. But we figured out why it didn't work. Should work this time. Okay, it worked. We made it work for just us, so that's good. And so it should work for everyone tomorrow. But we really want everyone to have the experience of rage quitting, so that's what we're shooting for this demo. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it on the common swarm. Everything is moving really well. We're starting to, once we have this demo and it's a success, then we'll just fully move towards making sure the bonding curve and conviction voting stuff work.
For this demo, what do you need from us?
Oh,
what do we need to do?
We'll talk about it tomorrow during the call. It'll just be like, oh, hey, you know, like, I think I have to ask Sam. I think we're not even, if we're going to do the hatch for everyone, it'll be like a day. It'll be like, you want to put in the hatch? Because it doesn't matter, because we meant impact hours for everyone. So everyone gets hatch tokens via impact hours. So whatever, you know. But the main thing will be there's this like delay period where people can't rage quit that for various technical reasons, and then they'll be like, hey, everybody, who wants to rage quit? Who wants to rage quit? You know, and then we'll see if people will rage quit and make sure it works. It's always good if people make issues or complain about how it sucks. That's what we use to make it better. So complain.
So it sounds like it's going to be just a really small fast, just to confirm that the changes that were made were effective, right?
Yeah, and a little bit of user acceptance testing on the rage quitting.
Cool. Okay. All right, and that's happening before this weekend or next week?
Just as a reminder,
no, go ahead, Chewy.
Just as a reminder, I'm posting the common swarm updates after this meeting, and like about what you were mentioning, Griff, like some of the changes to the UI and the whole like circle thing and all of that. We're posting links to some of these like designs. So if you want to know like a little bit further, yeah, just remember we have a thread where we just follow up every week on advances from the common swarm, and it also helps a lot to get what is going on at OneHive and vice versa, because we also post one of these in OneHive's forum, and it helps them know what's going on with the TEC. So yeah, just I wanted to throw that in there.
Yeah, I think it's really worth mentioning that OneHive, we're following the OneHive progress and supporting the OneHive progress on their disputable conviction voting in Celeste. They had their first successful challenge and all of that, so everything's going well there too.
Cool. Hey, Chui, can you just drop that link in the stewards channel, please?
Yes.
Thanks. I did see the first one. They're excellent updates. Sorry, the next Hatch demo will happen before the weekend or after? Do we know?
We're going to show it off on Thursday. Whether or not people are able to rage quit before the weekend, we're going to show it off tomorrow. And
in the community call. I got it.
Yeah.
Now I get it.
Well, I don't know that we have the. I don't know if people will rage quit this weekend or later, but there'll be an extended period for rage quitting.
I'll rage quit this weekend.
Yeah, let's all rage quit.
Cool. All right. Shall we go from rage quitting to gravity?
Oh wait, params?
Oh, sorry. I thought you did. I thought you talked about param. Okay. I'll go there.
No, params is much more exciting. So we have had so much trouble with impact hour slope, and we've been iterating. There's the impact hour slope thread where Sem and I are trying to iterate mostly in public. He's thrown out some really horrible ideas and some really awesome ideas. And he's so in love with the math that sometimes it's like, don't forget that people have to interface with it. But he came out with the best idea, right? So instead of it being impact hour, max impact hour rate, and some other random variable that's like, what the fuck is this? We're just gonna stay with max impact hour rate because that's relatively easy to understand. And that will be the slider that you move. And then you just choose a point on the line. You know, like, so for instance, a point on the line means an impact hour rate at a certain goal. So what is the impact? So we're going to have the user input the impact hour rate that they want for builders at the target goal. And that's it. That will be the replacement variable. Unless you guys have a different goal in mind, but I figure that's probably the best goal, or the best, like, the easiest thing to replace impact hour slope with is this, like, what rate do you want to give the builders at this goal? And then you can move the max impact hour rate to kind of flatten the curve, or that will now control curvature.
I think that's much more tangible than the way it was before. Much easier to understand, easily intuitive.
Yeah, and I want to thank Olivia and you and everyone else who was pushing back on this being a problem. I really appreciate it.
Cool. All right, exciting stuff.
Yeah, I don't think that there's and also Vitor is making I made an issue called getting this done or something like that. Yeah, finalize the QA. Yeah, that's it. It wasn't in the sprint. Finalize the QA on the Hatch config dashboard. So basically, probably do another param party Friday. If Vitor can get these, if we can settle on these changes, and then Vitor can get them uploaded tomorrow, then and you know, we have our own internal testing, and then we'll probably have a param party on Friday, and that'll be hopefully, as long as no one's like, what the hell are you talking about, or like, oh, I don't want to say how much builders are going to make directly. This is, who knows what problems can arise. This is why we keep doing the user acceptance testing. Yeah, and then but also you can still propose using this the old UI. Like, if you want to continue playing, I don't want to dissuade anyone from playing. It's super easy to change back. The underlying stuff is all the same. We're just putting an extra layer on top. The impact hour slope is still the impact hour slope. You know, it's just being hidden in the background. So, because I mean, we can't change it in the smart contracts or any of this stuff. So we're just deriving it in a different way. So like, you can actually go and propose parameters still, and it'll still be valid, and it'll be easy to change for, yeah.
Cool. Cool. Hey, YGG. Just, has anyone not gone to a param party yet? So just, if you haven't, try to make one of the upcoming ones. They are really actually excellent, and you will completely understand how our hatch DAO works afterwards. And that's probably the most important piece. And we left 5 minutes for you, Juan Carlos, if we want to do an update on gravity.
Yes, Tam. In the last sprint retrospective, we created this issue of have a published step-by-step conflict management process connected with the graduated sanctions. And yesterday I made a post in the forum with the four-step process that we want to like apply in Gravity, and I made it the most like comprehensive and easy way of understanding it. So I think that like I made this issue, and I think I can close it now. If you want, you can click on the forum post, and basically the steps are identification, screening, look for solutions, and post mediation. And there in the same post, there's like the forms we are going to use for the process during the process, so that like all is very transparent what we're doing, and people can know what they are getting into. And yeah, we are like trying to be operative, and we are like sometimes like not so much visible, but I think that gravity is like we can feel gravity in our community, and I think that's really good.
Yeah, this is excellent. Okay.
So yeah, I am going to close those issues.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks for that update.
Other thing is that we have the gravity survey, and we already did like the tool, but now we have to like share it. So maybe that can be something to do in these next weeks. We have the survey. It's in the last link. But yeah, we need to keep sharing it. And actually, I'm going to share it in the stewards chat so that all of you can like feel it.
And this, okay, so this form is, what is the form for?
The idea is to collect information from people in the decentralized organizations ecosystem to know like how many organizations have conflict management, to know if having conflict management like influences or impacts on the sense of well-being in people, to know like in how does people prefer to be like approached when a conflicting situation happens. So yeah, it's like a research, and that we can like take from that and receive some feedbacks on how can we improve our processes.
Okay, cool. Thanks for that. I will bump that up on my list of things I really want to get to. We are at the top of the hour. I think, Septimus, there was an audit question that we didn't have time to finish today, and I apologize.
Yeah,
but
it's fine. I encourage everyone to come to Transparency to talk about it.
Yay, come to the Transparency and talk about it. All right, thanks everyone, and have a great Wednesday night.